Hello. I hope everybody had a great weekend watching football, right? We had all the good wild card games, and we had some really great golf that went on to 10 o'clock at night on Thursday and Friday. So staying up late to watch golf is always cool this time of year if you're someone like myself on the East Coast. So it was a really action-packed weekend with DFS wise, playing the wild card rounds. I did really well actually. Was pretty happy with. It seemed like a lot of chalk kind of went off in the NFL, and then golf was really exciting. Those who watched that end at the Century was really great. Where they went to a playoff, was very happy because I had Nick Taylor and one of my main lineups. Um, Nick Taylor was a guy I talked about last week where he didn't quote unquote fit the model that we were looking for as far as statistics, but he just has a really strong history at the golf course. And he really obviously paid that up with a strong finish, eagling the 18th hole to get into a playoff and then winning on the second playoff hole. So it was really exciting. I kind of thought that I was a little out of it, and then he eagled that hole because he had missed two short putts. I think one was like 4 feet, one was under 4 feet. And I thought I had no chance that Nick was gonna get into the lead or a playoff. So it was really exciting finish. And the 100K to first contest actually finished and won like 150 bucks off the 20. Actually, it was 180 off the $20 contest. Congrats to, I mentioned the article about Notorious that I share on here. Congrats to him. I think he took like fourth place. And then some other popular names were up there. So congrats to those winners. Thought it was really awesome to see some of the guys that really put in the hard work here and know golf really well be at the top of that leaderboard because golf does require a lot of luck at the end of the day, but there's also a lot of skill in trying to do the research, putting the time in. So really, that's what I hope to do today is talk about the American Express tournament that's coming up this weekend. What I want to do is kind of go over some of the quick research that I did. And I thought it'd be cool. Maybe we could build a lineup together so you could see my process for building a lineup. So um, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and share my screen here so you could see what we normally look at. Of course, Notorious, who had the top finish last week, this is his article. So we're looking at DraftKings specifically for this. And then I also built a model over in um, Fantasy National. I will show you what I put. I put them all even, but for the best that I could find. Now, for this tournament, stats aren't, again, one of those that is something that we can go by too much because it is a program. So, for those that aren't familiar, they are going to play the first three rounds on three different courses. There's actually four different courses that get played here. And then there will be a cut after the third round, and they will play the final round on the stadium course after the cut. Um, the reason that the stats aren't too much impactful here for this tournament is since it is a program and the amateurs are going to play three rounds. It's they're easy courses, right? So the rough isn't very penal. Around the green isn't too hard, and the putting is going to be kind of slow for these guys. So again, when you have tournaments like this, I like to just try and go ahead and focus on the simple things like a strokes gain approach, strokes gain putting. The other unique thing about this tournament is they have had some folks who have had missed cuts, long shots, maybe not even close in stats come and win this tournament. So um, I'm not putting too much weight here, but I always try and like to do something so I can get some idea of, where they're priced, how they're playing, and then also their betting odds, because of course that's all factored in there as well. So just so you can see, this is the stats that I put in here for this week's, and then um, I have them in here. Now I went ahead and favorited some of these folks. And it's based off, a lot of things here. So what I like to do is I come here first, right? So I like to come here first and kind of see, okay, who is cheaper priced, who ranks higher in the model. And since this model is really rewarding the strokes gained and the putting, these guys should be playing well, or at least be have played well. You also have to remember some of these guys haven't played since the fall. So some of these stats might be a few months old. It's just this time of year, but hey, this is the only data that we have to go with. So we'll roll with it, right? So for example, Bud Cauley is a guy that you can see ranked third in the model, only 7,300. He actually would technically rank second in the model since Schauffele's out this week. So what I like to do is kind of come and look over here, scroll down to Cauley, find him in the list here. And you can see here he is. He's 101 odds, 7,300. I can tell you that he has played, since this is only the past 5 years, he has played previous years before and had top finishes. Um, so I'll tell you what, Colley's a guy that I'm going to take a chance on. For the pricing and the way he's playing in the stats, this is the guy that I'm going to go after. Let's look at a couple other people that are on my favorites list. Sam Burns. Sam Burns has been playing really well. If we come, I like, again, I'm just going to kind of jump back and forth so you can see exactly how I do it. So let's come over here. Sam, look at the history here. There's only one missed cut back in 2021. Finished sixth here last year after 11th. If you look at the odds, right, he is one of the top odds here. Again, you got to take out Schauffele. So again, he would be the third ranked at 9,800. So there's value there, right? So he's not 10-4 like JT is. He's not 10-3, nothing, right? It's not a lot below that, but there's some value here. So if I have to choose between two guys at the end of the day, this is who I'm going to roll with because golf is so volatile. And one of these guys might be in 30th place, or sometimes I might be comparing seventh to second, right? So I'm going to take the value whenever I can see the value because that's what we're playing when you are doing a salary style contest. It's just going to help you fit more quality players into your lineup. And again, you want them to all make the cut. The good thing about this tournament, though, is at least you get 3 full days out of them, guaranteed before the cut. All right, so let's go back here. Next one I'm looking at, Bezadenhoop. So some research on Zayhoot. He's a favorite that's out there. I think he's going to play really well this week. We can go look at him comparative here, and you can see he's had kind of very similar numbers that we just looked at to Sam Burns, the 11th and second, and value at 7,600. Because if you look at the guys he's around, Jonathan Vegas, Cam Davis, I'm going to tell you, Cam Davis burned me so bad last week, and then he kind of burned me a little bit at Century as well. I might be a little off Cam Davis, which probably means he'll go off this week, right? But comparatively on an easy course, right? He's struggled, looks like the last two. He has had some top finish. I just don't think Cam's putting really well right now. Um, and I'm gonna let him kind of find his game somewhere else, not on me. While we're down here in this range, I'll go ahead and talk about Adam Hadwin. Really thrives in this type of environment. He's an excellent putter. Um, I can't believe he's kind of priced this low. Um, I'm definitely going to be playing Hadwin as well. All right, so let's go down here on the list. Really like Eric Cole this week. Again, just because of value. Do I love Tony Finau? Absolutely. But at 9,500, I need to find some value somewhere, right? If I'm going to fit Tony in my lineup. So Eric Cole's a great value here. I think as far as the guys that are at the over 10K, Sung J M is going to be the one that I'm going to roll with just because of the course history and the way he's been playing recently. Another value play that I like here is Mark. I think it's Meisner. Sorry if I mispronounced that. So really like him as well. Max Grayson, I'm going to go ahead and favor this because he's been playing really well recently. Here's another example of a guy. It's not going to fit the stats, but if you just watched how he's played, there's a reason he's priced at 9,200. He's definitely going to break out. This could be a week that he could do it. I just would like him to be priced a little bit lower if you're going to take the risk there. So again, comparative to this, I think a great idea is you come over here and you look at this, try to take some bias out of it, just by looking at value versus this data here and seeing where it fits. You could sort again by the odds, and you can see here, I like to always kind of sort by the salary, scroll all the way down and see if there's any outliers. Right. So we'll do that right now just so you can see a lot of golfers in this tournament. And what I'm looking for over here, guys, is anybody who kind of stands out. Now, these are all really long odds, so no one's really hitting yet, right? So I'm still kind of looking. Keith Mitchell. There you go. So you can see how Keith is tucked between the 100 and the 125, and there's a bunch of hundreds above him as well. So good price here on Keith, and he has a good history on the course. So Keith looks like a guy who definitely would make the cut for you if he could just get his putting in order. Um, Player I would definitely go with. But here's a good example of how you can find some value and fit some of the top guys that you want to play in your lineup. So let's keep going and see if anybody else stands out here. Um, Nicholas Echeverria, who he was in the playoff last week. So really awesome here. Good odds. I know he doesn't have the greatest course history here. Um, But I would take a flyer on him, right? So if you're going to make some GPP lineups, throw him in there, right? He's probably still going to go loaned, even if because he was in the playoff. I'll tell you what, if he won, it'd be different. But for some reason, folks just kind of forget, right? And he played really well approaching the green and his putting. So unfortunately, I think the nerves got to him and he missed that putt at the end to let Nick Taylor take it, but played really well all week overall. All right, and then we'll kind of scroll to the top and see why I picked Sung JM. Again, top value here. Look at all these finishes. You're almost guaranteed a top 20 in this range. So that's why I really like Sung J if I'm going to pay up for the 10-3. All right. So let's go on here and build a lineup because I think some of you, if you've never built a lineup, you're like, okay, all this information is really great, but how do you build a lineup? Now, you'll have to bear with me a little bit because I normally do this on my phone, so I don't do it too much in here. But we're just going to use the same exact data that we just played around with, and we're going to come build a lineup. I like to start with the value guys at the bottom and then kind of see where what value or what I have left. So we talked about Hadwin, right? I talked about how much I like him. Let's go add him in. Bezatenhout, boom. So I got a couple really low guys right there that I know that I like. I also told you I really like Bud Cauley. So now I've already started this lineup with three guys, took some of the bias out of it, just looked at the stats and said, hey, these three guys are pretty good, right? That I really like this week. Now I have an average remaining of 91.33. So once I kind of pick my cheapies, I go to the top and see, okay, who kind of fits in this range. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go look right over here. I'm going to use this here and see, okay, who kind of ranks up there, right? So for my expensive ones, it looks like Wyndham Clark. There's Finau if I want to play him. Sun JM, but still Finau's kind of a little over that. So let's go back over here and see who's in this 9,100 range. I know I should play Siwoo Kim here. Um, I have so much trouble playing Siwoo Kim. He's such a hard guy for me to trust. I know he has a good course history here. Um, I just can't bring myself to do it. But if you play Siwoo, there's no shame in playing Siwoo. So anyway, let's continue to look here. Surprise, surprise. I'm not going to touch Nick. I know he just came off the win, but he doesn't have a very good history here and seems like a guy who likes certain courses. So speaking of putting and approaching the green, JT Poston's a guy that I really, really like. So let's come back over here. Let's see where JT even, if he ranks here in this model. You can also do a quick search. He's ranked 46. Looks like the reason why he's ranked lower is the strokes gained approach and the strokes gained putting. Uh, and he's definitely a guy that can get hot with the putter. So sometimes you just got to go with what you like, right? So let's do here. Let's go add Mr. Poston. Strong history, 7,800. And now I have 9,800 left. I told you I like Sam Burns this week, so I'm going to roll with Sam Burns. And then 9,600, look at that. I got my boy Finau or Cantlay. So let's go look between the two. Where do they rank up here? And this is sometimes the hardest one because you're trying to pull between the two and you're like, okay, like there's Finau. All right, so he ranks seventh in this model. Again, I'm not taking too much, but I like that it's seventh in the model, and here at 23. So the big difference here is it looks like Cantlay has struggled with strokes gained approach, and Finau with his putting and scrambling. So let's go look at the tiebreaker here. Finau's 25 to 1, Cantlay's 20 to 1. Cantlay does have a couple top 10 finishes. Finau seems like he, um, has those same ones. He only has one top 10 finish. But man, Cantlay played so well at the Century, and so did Finau. So this one's really, really tough for me. So really, for the tiebreaker, I'm just going to roll with the odds on favorite since I have the money for it. We'll throw Cantlay in here. And this is the PGA Tour 25K to first. So, hey, feel free if you like this and you wanna you wanna play this lineup at your own risk. You can certainly do it, but I'm gonna go ahead and enter in to this lineup here. Um, while I'm in here, I might as well show you guys some of the lineups that I like. Man, I came in second in two winner take-alls. If you ever want to play the take-alls, if you just start typing in take in the tournament fields, you can see the take-alls. These are the ones I like to play, 8 out of 10. In fact, I'll enter that now, and boom, I enter my lineup. I like this one because it's You only have to beat nine other people and the payout's 175. I was in a bunch of contests. If you guys are familiar with Mock Lovin, and he had a decent lineup last week. And of course, he was in every single take all that I was in. And I came in the second with him. So it could have been a really, really great week. Um, but it was not. So here, I'll show you really quickly how I did and the 100K the first. Here's my lineup. It really sucked because McNeely struggled in the final round. Pendrith struggled in McCarthy, kind of came through putt and just made his way. If these guys had just picked up a few more strokes, it could have been a really um, special day, right? But hey, 558 fantasy points, won 150, 134th place, right? Out of 29,411 entries. So I will take it. And here's the shout out just so you can see. Notorious. He had 44 entries in here. And you can see that he took this place here, won $15,000. So that is the gentleman whose information I use for free. So I love that. Hey, karma got paid back here. So anyway, I hope it was helpful building a lineup, so you can kind of see how it's done. Um, Again, there's the stats, there's the rankings, all that, and then sometimes I'm telling you, you just have to go with the guy that you like. And that's golf, right? Sometimes that is just about golf. Is there's the guy that's hot, or there's the guy that you just feel is going to have a great day. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Really good luck to anybody who is going to play the American Express this weekend. And I'll also be playing some NFL playoff contests as well. So good luck if you guys do that too. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful night.